welcome to my channel. My name's Heidi. I just wanted to talk you through my health journey today. Just kind of show you the process of what I've been through. It all kind of started when I was about 12. I just remember being aware of people's bodies then, so just comparing myself a lot. And then when I was about 17, I really started to kind of put on weight. And I was eating a lot of rubbish. My mum fed me really well, but we also had a lot of cakes and cookies in the house, and we'd have a lot of sweets, and I was a real sweet tooth, and it was great. I was loving life. Like, I loved sweets and I loved just rubbish food, and that's kind of, I think, what everyone grew up eating. But we did have really good meals as well. My mum was a very good cook, and is still a very good cook, and a very good baker as well. But yeah, so when I was 17, I realised I kind of needed to lose some weight, and I think I lost a little bit of weight, just kind of, you know, just eating a little bit better, but I had no real idea on how to eat healthy at all, so I had to kind of learn. And then I had a bit of a bad idea about food, so I kind of saw foods as bad foods and good foods. And when I was about 19, I remember going through the process of, like, I'd eat quite a lot of rubbish, but then I'd feel really guilty. And so then I'd be like, right, you're not allowed to have any bad food for this long. Like, I'm going to go 30 days and I'm not going to have any bad food. And I think it was a lot of kind of crash dieting, then a lot of binging as well, because I would just be up and down. I'd be like, I'm not going to eat all this rubbish, so I'd stop eating it for a few days, and after a few days, because my blood sugars were so just off the charts probably, I would then be ravenous for sugar and just binge like crazy, and just, you know, eat to the point that I was just like, oh. And it was funny because I never really felt full, so I could always eat loads more. Like, I feel like it takes a lot for me to get full. And yeah, it was a struggle. So then when I was 19, I had a bit of a rough year. It was just a bit mental. I started to get acid reflux, and it was horrible, and I had no idea where that had come from. It had just come out of the blue, and I was like, why am I getting this? This is horrible. So then I decided to try and find out what the root cause of it was, and went down the health and fitness path, and had a nutritionist who was going to college with me when I was doing singing at college at the time, and he was really helpful and gave me loads and loads of information about hormones and stuff, and just how to eat really, really well. And so I kind of learned a little bit from that. And I think my mind was just geared towards all of these things. Like, I was really interested in it. I worked at Lush, and actually there was a nutritionist guy there who just told me all about health and fitness and just looking after yourself. And so that was really cool, and I just learnt loads there. But I still had a really bad relationship with food, because I would still just be like, I'm going to cut out sugar for this long, and then would go through the binge process, because I didn't really know how to balance everything out. Like, I wasn't very good at it at all. So then when I was 21, I really got into the gym. I was going all the time. Me and my friends were loving it. We were very good at exercising, and I managed to keep it up for quite a long time. Learned how to eat well, learned how to meal prep and things like that. And it was easier because I had a routine, and I think that's really important. So if you're struggling, try and get yourself into a routine. I found that that's really helpful for me. And then, yeah, so that was really good, and I was doing a full-time job, but I managed to kind of learn how to eat well, and I was doing all these things, and I didn't feel like I was feeling as guilty about food, but I was still struggling with acid reflux. Then I went to uni and was really struggling with acid, and then a friend told me that actually it could be gluten, so I thought, oh yeah, I'll try that out. So I gave up gluten for quite a long time, mainly wheat. I wasn't as disciplined with gluten, which was really helpful. It actually really helped a lot of my cravings. I would be quite ravenous with food, which has got loads better now. And then, so gave up wheat for a long time, and was really good at managing my food, was going to the gym 4-5 times a week, was just really on it, and just felt on top of the world. I think that was a really good time. But then in third year, I kind of lost my mojo a bit, and was actually really struggling with anxiety. And I hadn't realised how bad it was, except I remember just my mind being so blurry and just foggy, and I would just want to cry all the time, and it was horrible. And I know my diet wasn't good. I was drinking a lot at that time, and my sleep pattern was way off. And I know for me, routine is so key. Like, it is a game changer for me. Like, I just need to have things in place, because I can be a bit reckless or just a bit all over the shop. And I really struggled that year, and that was kind of the worst I've ever had anxiety. That was the worst I've ever felt, really. And I think since then it's been a real build up for me. So I've been trying to build up just getting back to normal, feeling how I felt. But I think there was a lot of underlying issues that I needed to be resolved that weren't resolved, with food, with anxiety, just general things I'm still working on now, but things are loads better, and I'm very grateful for that, and it has been a real journey. You know, it's all a part of it, and I know that. So then third year was really difficult, left uni, was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with life, and it was really tough. So I was quite anxious then, and just a bit, yeah, just trying to work it out. And then in the last year is where things have really started to shift. So Jo, my husband's sister, is a doctor, and she suggested going to see a therapist, like cognitive behavioural therapy, so CBT, and I did. And she basically saw that I had quite an unhealthy relationship with food, so she suggested it. And I went there, and it really helped with my anxiety, like loads of things, just writing down all your worries and things like that. So if you're struggling, that's a really helpful tool. Just writing down your anxieties, that's what I find helped me so much. And just also talking to people, I think that was one of the major things for me as well, just being able to actually finally talk to people about things that are bothering me or just affecting me that I'd be too nervous to share. It's actually, you know, when they say communication is key, it really is key. Like, it makes such a huge difference, and as soon as you tell someone, the weight is just taken off. And I just felt, for me, it's hard to put that into practice a lot of the time. Like, I really struggle, and I know a lot of people do struggle to put that into practice, but for me it was just so helpful. So CBT was amazing. I had that for like maybe a few months, and then I felt like it was fine, but I kind of, you know, I still struggle with acid reflux, and I would really blame it on food. So I'd be like, everything that I ate, I thought pretty much caused me acid reflux, because I would always get it every time I ate. So I would eat blueberries, and that would cause me acid reflux. I would drink green tea, and that would cause acid reflux, or at least I thought it would cause it, but that's not really what it was. And then I finally found this amazing doctor, and I've been really struggling with doctors just not really listening and not being helpful. And also now, because you always end up going to a different doctor all the time, you have to re-explain your situation to them, and I found that so hard, just having to re-explain every time. And they'd be like, oh, do you know what acid reflux is? And I'll be like, yeah, no, I've been told about 1,000 times from every other doctor I've seen, and they all say the same thing, which is great because obviously there's consistency, but at the same time it doesn't really help you because you're not really progressing at all. Like, you feel like you're just stuck because every time you go to a new doctor they're just saying the same thing. So I was like, I'm gonna have to figure this out on my own. Anyway, I was still managing to be pretty healthy. I'm pretty good at just eating well, I would say, the majority of the time, and had this amazing doctor, and he would say the same as other people, but he would book to see me every 3 weeks. So he was like, right, we'll arrange a appointment for the following 3 weeks. So we would just get, and he would just do all the tests. He wanted to get to the bottom of it. He was like, look, Heidi, we're going to sort this out. We're going to get to the bottom of this. And we kind of did, and he basically decided that I was just anxious and stressed, and that was kind of how my body manifested this stress. So it would just be through acid reflux and a lot of anxiety and all of this, and acid reflux was kind of like the main thing, so that was the real struggle for me. And I would get it particularly bad on exams and stuff, and do you know what, it's funny, I never put 2 and 2 together. Like, it was just weird that I never did that. But I would blame it on all these foods and be like, oh, they're such bad foods, I can't eat them. But actually it was never that at all. But it took so long, and no doctor really wanted to help me, and no, you know, it was just really, really difficult getting to the bottom of it. But finally I found like I had, and also at the same time as this, I was seeing a counsellor, and still am, and just being able to talk to her. And it was just some of the things that she would relay back to me about my own situation that made me realise that actually this acid reflux was just like me bubbling up inside, which visually now I'm just like, obviously that makes so much sense. I think when you just get so stuck in things, it can get really hard. So I think my biggest tip in this little video is actually just talk to people, and that can be a real game changer. So, because it was huge for me, just talking to people and just being able to talk to my counsellor for an hour every Friday, and she would just be able to relay back things to me that she kind of picked up on, and gives you a new perspective of seeing things, and I think that was really helpful. So having a counsellor, having an amazing doctor, so many other things, there's just so many things that were in place that have made life so much easier, and I'm now just getting so much better. I'll get acid reflux, I'm like, okay, what is that? And then I can kind of like explore, I can kind of like go through my mind and think, what's making me feel really, really anxious? And I can normally pinpoint it, and that helps get rid of the acid reflux. So yeah, so now I'm just in a really good place. I'm still having my counselling, which is really helpful. This is kind of why I've started my YouTube channel. Like, I'm just really excited because I feel like I've built up so much knowledge just trying to find out everything I possibly can over the past few years, and I just feel in a much better place. And it's all a massive journey, and there are still going to be ups and downs, and I'm aware of that, but things were much more balanced. I moved out of London, which I think was a huge thing for me, and I'm married and live in the countryside pretty much, which is glorious, and I get to go for walks and hikes and just live a really balanced lifestyle, it feels like, and just I don't have that bad relationship with food anymore. I'll eat what I feel like I need to eat. I don't feel like I'm out of control. And so this is kind of like my journey. This is what I've been through over the past few years. I managed to keep my fitness up. I like to go for runs. I do work out most days of the week, and if I don't work out, I'll go for a long walk. But for me, that's like the biggest thing in terms of mental health as well. I mainly do that for mental health now. It used to be for like physique, but I think the main thing is that I know that I'm going to feel much better if I do the exercise. So I think I said that really fast, but I just wanted to tell you it as quickly as possible without rambling too much. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you like this video, like and subscribe, and